Getting in breaking news now, and the son of former President Pranab Mukherjee, Abhijit Mukherjee, has tweeted a few minutes back. 6 minutes back, he put out a tweet saying that, with a heavy heart, this is to inform you that my father, Sri Pranab Mukherjee, has just passed away. In spite of the best efforts of doctors of RR Hospital and prayers, duas and prarthanas from people throughout India, I thank all of you. That's the breaking news update coming in. I'd like to go across to Abhishek Kapoor joining us on the phone line. We'll go across to Abhishek, but the condition of Pranab Mukherjee, the former president, deteriorated this morning. There was a decline in the medical condition. I'm going to Abhishek Kapoor now as we pick up more details. Abhishek.
Well, yes, Niranjan, had bit of news coming in of 13th President of India, Pranab Mukherjee, veteran congressman, Bharat Ratna in 2019, passing away after having spent almost a fortnight in the hospital, fighting various ailments essentially triggered by COVID. President Mukherjee, his Twitter handle was Citizen Mukherjee, and he would be remembered as someone who was perhaps, of the extant generation, someone who very closely worked with Indira Gandhi, with Rajiv Gandhi, and in many ways mentored Rahul Gandhi. Someone who remained a quintessential congressman. I believe all the condolences would be pouring in. The fact that he had the kind of, acceptability with an absolutely opposite ideology like the BJP, with the kind of rapport he had with the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, for example, that even the NDA government gave him a Bharat Ratna. President Mukherjee passing away. He was born in 1935, Niranjan. There would be a lot of what shall I say, institutional memory that has gone in the passing away of Pranab Mukherjee. He was someone who would, had been associated with Indian politics since 1960s, and once did break away from the Congress party, but then had been leader of the Lok Sabha, leader of the Rajya Sabha, Union Finance Minister, Union Defence Minister, Union External Affairs Minister. I mean, this broad sweep of political experience and leadership definitely creates a kind of a vacuum in the polity of the country. He was preceded by Pratibha Patil and, of course, succeeded by incumbent Ramnath Kovind. The fact that he became President of India in 2012, giving up active politics, sure, he had that element of giving up as well in his mind as you grow in politics, that sense of detachment. He had worked with P.V. Narasimha Rao as his Prime Minister. He worked with Manmohan Singh as his Prime Minister. He worked with Rajiv Gandhi as his Prime Minister. He worked with, of course, Indira Gandhi as his Prime Minister. In fact, it was expected that in 1984, when Indira Gandhi passed away, that Pranab Mukherjee perhaps might take the mantle, and that caused a bit of a break between him and the Gandhis, and that frostiness, or that some element of frostiness did remain for a while, but then Pranab really reconciled and was back in the Congress party. He's survived by his one daughter and one son, Niranjan, and his wife, Shubhra Mukherjee, had, of course, passed away in 2015 when he was still at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. Long, as I said, political experience and institutional memory in passing away of loss of India and passing away of Pranab Mukherjee. Everyone would talk about a diary that Pranab Mukherjee would write every day, Niranjan. And for some very strange reason, though he wrote that diary, he never really thought of coming out of it in terms of his autobiography. That remains unwritten unless, someone picks up and if he has built that, some notes from that diary should come out. It would be a bit of a loss in terms of understanding of India's modern history through the eyes of someone who was an insider, who had seen the Gandhis, who had seen Rajiv in the making, who had seen, mentored Rahul Gandhi, and of course, parliamentary experience. We're given the Best Parliamentarian Award, as I was earlier mentioning, the fact that he had the kind of acceptability cutting across party divides, ideological divides that even the government of Narendra Modi bestowed the Bharat Ratna on him last year. He had set up Rashtriya Samajwadi Congress.
Abhishek, stay with me. Abhishek, stay with me. In fact, we have the President of India who has just tweeted, Ramnath Kovind, the President of India has just tweeted, and I quote, "Sad to hear that former President Shri Pranab Mukherjee is no more. His demise is passing of an era, a colossus in public life. He served Mother India with the spirit of a sage. The nation mourns losing one of its worthiest sons. Condolences to his family, friends, and all citizens." We'll just put out the tweet on the surface as well in our newsroom, and also telling you more about and more messages. In fact, just reading out what else the president has said while remembering Pranab Mukherjee. Endowed with wisdom, Bharat Ratna Shri Mukherjee combined tradition and modernity. In his 5-decade-long illustrious public life, he remained rooted to the ground irrespective of the offices he held. He endeared himself to people across the political spectrum. As the first citizen, he continued to connect with everyone, bringing Rashtrapati Bhavan closer to the people. He opened its gates for public visit. His decision to discontinue the use of the honorific His Excellency was historic. That's President of India, Ramnath Kovind, while remembering the much-loved Pranab Da, as they all called him,